Welcome back. It's the last day of the season. We've got another classic match recap. We are not going to talk about the current United side. We're going to go all the way back. We're taking it back, Adam, to 1999. We know what happened in 1999. Old Trafford, last day of the season. United v Spurs. United have to win to claim the English Premier League title. And you know what happens after that in the week. We got a couple of big games after that Premier League game, that last day of the season against Spurs. But we're going to go to Old Trafford. Like I said, United versus Spurs. Adam, how you going, mate? Back in the cave again?
Yeah, good, mate. Good, mate. I thought I was excited about the last one, but this one just got me pumped again. It was like I was there watching it again.
Same.
Mate, it was an absolute cracking game. Very nerve-wracking game, that's for sure. And look, I'm guessing a lot of our younger viewers and probably our younger members of our supporters club probably haven't sat there and watched this game. You can watch it on YouTube. It is there, and it's well worth the watch. Let me tell you. Go in there with a blank mind, knowing that I think Arsenal was 1 point behind United. United had to win the game. It was going to be United's 5th title in 7 years. It was going to be. I think Fergie was going to equal Busby as well for the amount of titles. So it was. It was really, really, really on the line stuff, that's for sure. You had Yap Stam was out as well. I think he had an Achilles injury. We still had like you said, we still had FA Cup. We had Champions League to go. So there was a lot going on towards this last round of the season. I think it was 30 games. 30
games unbeaten.
30 games unbeaten, was it? Yeah, far out, man. And I think we only lost.
That's all. I don't know if that was in all competitions.
Yeah, that was all competitions,
Yeah. So the last loss was at home of that season. The last loss of that season was at home to Middlesbrough.
Okay, yeah. Far out, man.
And then we've gone on a 30-game unbeaten run.
Yeah. Well, it was. I think I was talking to you before we just come on about Klopp whinging about how many games they have to play to maybe do the quad. I think United that season played, it would have been this 58, 59 games to overall competitions to get to win the treble. So it's nothing new. So
yeah, but you know how the Liverpool narrative and Liverpool and if you look at the table, how the table ended that season, right? You look at the difference between now and back then. United ended up clinching the title in 99, obviously. We finished on 79 points. Arsenal finished on 78. We had 22 wins, 13 draws, and 3 losses.
Yeah.
That's 79 points. And you look at what City and Liverpool are doing now.
Yeah.
It's like now you almost have to go unbeaten in the season to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's how far apart everything is now. Like that's the difference now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Crazy. Anyway, let's get into this game.
Yeah.
Let's get into this game because
okay. I know you're pumped. I'm pumped for it too.
I'm pumped, man. Get me going. Get me started.
Okay. Look, so Arsenal are at Highbury to Aston Villa. Whatever happens with our result, they have to win their game. Okay, so it all lies on us. It's in our hands. So I don't think a draw would have been good enough for us, or would it have? We would have got them on goals. We would have got them on goal difference.
I think we would have got them on goal difference, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
they had to score 5, I think. I think they needed to score 5 or something like that, it was.
Yeah, let me just see.
Yeah.
Correct. They would have had to score 5 goals.
Yeah, I think it was 5, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it only finished. Anyway, it was a goal difference anyway.
Yeah.
So they're at home to Aston Villa at Highbury. We're at home to Tottenham Hotspurs, who have a good lineup. There's a lot of players there. You rattle off some of those names, like Big Les Ferdinand. He sticks out for me. He was always I remember him at Newcastle. He was a good striker, man. He was a gun striker. He always had a
You had Sol
Shearer next to
Campbell
him.
too, who's one of the big defenders as well. So
Yeah.
like he's a big. Yeah, David Ginola as well coming into the
David
game.
Ginola, yeah.
You know, even though like he was injured early in the game and went off. Yeah, Darren Anderton as well. Like these names just roll off the tongue because England was
Tim
something.
Sherwood was playing.
Sorry.
Tim Sherwood.
Yeah, it was a cracker, and then you know you look at United's lineup: Schmeichel, David May, as we were saying, came in for Yap Stam. You had Johnson, Irwin, Neville, Beckham, Keane, Giggs, Scholes, Sheringham, York. Yeah,
I'm wearing. I've got Keane on.
Yeah. Oh, you got Keane on the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's blank. I still yet to put a name set on the back of this, but if I did, it'd probably be Beckham.
Yeah. I've got a Beckham one inside as well.
Yeah, nice.
Mate, you could put any name, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't matter. What a legendary season that was.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
All right.
Yes.
So you can feel the tension in the air straight away. Obviously, last day of the season, we have to win to claim the title and then go for an unprecedented treble at the time. You could just see the nervy start. The crowd was up for it. The crowd, you watch the highlights or the full game on YouTube now.
No, it's full game. Full game.
Yeah, the crowd is roaring for 90 minutes, just non-stop.
Brilliant atmosphere.
Yeah, unbelievable. Early on in the game, Dwight York closes down Ian Walker, the Tottenham goalkeeper, ricochets off Yorkie and it hits the post.
Yeah.
What were you thinking at that stage?
Mate, we had so many good chances. Like I'm still very vivid of this game when it was actually played. And you're sitting back. Obviously, we're here in Australia watching it, and you're in front of your TV watching it or listening to it on the radio because it was played on ABC at the time as well. And mate, you're out of your seat all the time, just because we did have a lot of chances in that first half, and Spurs weren't coming forward, and I think we had Coley, Yorkie hit the post or deflected onto the post or whatever it was, and Beckham's crosses weren't really going in. Like a lot of the players were really nervous, and I think earlier in the game, I remember the commentator distinctly talking about Roy Keane having a go at Irwin as well. And literally that was so early in the game. And it was so like even Roy Keane would have been really nervous for that game. We talk about our players these days being nervous in front of the crowd, not doing anything. Back in the day, this team were used to winning. But coming into that last day with 1 point in front and oh mate, imagine how nervous these guys would have been. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. And the pressure was there from the crowd.
You could see it, man. You could see the nerves. You could feel it. You could sense it. It was.
I've been over at Old Trafford on the last day before, and everyone's around like where the tents are and stuff selling, and everyone's got their transistor radios there, and everyone's listening to the other results. So you can imagine what it was like. There would have been fans there with radios listening to Arsenal's game, Arsenal fans listening to United's game.
Yeah.
And I was there the last time when City won it in the death, and that was in 2012 season. And mate, I was ready to party, but that was a shocker. Anyway,
yeah, I know.
Fucking
Let's not
Aguero.
go back there.
Yeah, let's keep moving forward. Yeah, so you could really feel it, mate. It was just.
Yeah.
So
I remember
many
sitting on the edge of my bed,
by.
mate. I was on the edge of my bed just watching the whole time. I had my fingernails in the mouth. I was nervous as myself. And then, so like you said, Spurs weren't coming at us too much. They were sort of sitting back a bit, trying to hit us on the counter. And then through a counter attack, Les Ferdinand finds Peter Schmeichel sort of in no man's land.
No man's lands, yeah.
Yeah. And he
Look,
lobs
the
in.
marking wasn't real good on it. The marking wasn't real good on him. And Les Ferdinand, mate, absolute 24th minute, just lobbed it over Schmeichel. You know, that's a class finish, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you don't have to give him a second invitation. He will finish. He was a clinical striker, Les Ferdinand.
Surprisingly, that season, just listening to it back then, I think that was only his 5th goal all season.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, he had a lot of injuries. Yeah. So, but mate, to come back and I remember the commentator saying that it's the first time Tottenham fans want Arsenal to lose, or Arsenal don't want Tottenham to win, or something like that.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And it's like us now, really. We want City to win it, and so
of
not
course.
really much has changed over the years when it comes to the fans. But yeah, it was a nice goal by Les Ferdinand.
Yeah, Spurs take the lead, and to our credit, we were quite attacking from the get-go anyway. We were pushing hard, and although our passes weren't sticking, like in terms of the crosses weren't finding their mark, or you could see the nerves in the players, we were still pushing and progressing the ball forward and trying to get that goal, because you could see the players knew anything but a win, and we don't win that title. Scholesy was hitting some from outside the box. Walker was pulling off some good saves.
Mate, there was a couple of their point blank range. I still remember him. You had Scholes twice. Scholes hit a nice shot straight at it was like a hard shot. The keeper dropped it, and next minute he had one from point blank range. Beckham had one from point blank range as well.
Yeah, the header.
Yeah, they just couldn't get it. Yeah, then you had Maisie on a corner. He had a free header as well. Mate, the game was that open, and it made it probably. Imagine being at the game, like being the supporters at the game. Probably just as well they do sing all game. God, geez, mate, your heart's in your mouth.
Ferdinand scored. After Ferdinand scored, they panned to a few of the supporters in the crowd, and you could just see them, man. Like their faces had dropped, their hearts were in their mouths. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable scenes, man.
Even there was one stage where Gary Neville had to block just a shot. I forget who from Iverson. Like Iverson had a few chances to score. I think Schmeichel made a late parry down to might have been to his right hand side again, and but Neville, great block. Just we talk about reading each other in defence. Those boys, they were very good at reading each other in defence back then. That it was they were so well structured.
The desperation was there. They knew.
Yeah,
everyone knew their role. Everyone knew their job, and if you weren't up to that standard on the day, you were going to you'd hear about it from one of the players, whether it be Roy Keane or like you wouldn't want to get on the wrong end of either Keano or Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah,
we spoke about that in the last classic that we recapped. Peter Schmeichel, veins popping out of his neck. You wouldn't want to be on the end of those, let alone the hairdryer from Fergie.
Gary Neville, those boys like Gary Neville, Beckham, Scholes, Nicky Butt, they bled Giggs and all these players, Dennis Irwin. These boys bled for our badge, and you could see they were fighting for everything to pull this win away, get this win.
They all did. You can't pick a player from that squad that didn't bleed for the badge, honestly.
Nah. And then
whether they were foreigners or English born, or it didn't matter.
Look, it was getting to the back end of that first half too, where I think I don't know if the crowd didn't believe they couldn't win, because the amount of times through that season, United came back a fair bit through games, and a lot of them were 1-0 wins, 2-0 wins, 2-1s through that season, and it did start looking like one of those days. As you know, when you play football, you can have those days where you're just hitting the post, or your crosses aren't hitting their spot, or passes aren't hitting their player, and that's what the game was like. It was like that, and you sort of in the back of your head, you're going, "Oh, mate, this isn't going to get to us. This is going to," and being that Arsenal knew that we were already 1-0 down, we were all 1-0 down, so the bar's starting to raise again. So the pressure around the ground, but I think Arsenal was still 0-0 at the time as well. So it was like mate. I'm talking about it now. I'm getting goosebumps down my arm. Yeah. And then what do you call it? You get Giggs then all of a sudden Giggs is making his runs down the left-hand side again, which he was doing before that, but this time it was like with big purpose, and Giggs passed into Scholes and it came square across the box. And like even the pass to Scholes could have, the pass from Scholes to Beckham, that was probably about a 10-meter pass. So if Tottenham were onto it, they could have intercepted that quite easily. But
if you remember that pass, and you just see Tottenham's back line, they all sort of get drawn as soon as Scholes, they get drawn across the box.
Well, Dwight York was doing a lot of running in that first half, trying to get possession of the ball. He was outstanding in that first half, Yorkie.
And as soon as their back line went across the box, this massive amount of space just opened up for Bex. And then Scholes, mate, to have that composure with that many people in front of him, because you probably would have thought the crowd would have started screaming shoot or something.
And that was a habit for Scholesy too. They loved it.
Because he had a couple of opportunities from outside the box earlier in the game.
Yeah.
So he's had the composure. He's looked over to his right and he's seen Bex wide open. So he's great ball into his stride.
Set it up.
Yeah. He didn't have to break stride. And that famous right peg of his,
mate,
top left, the angle of it, top left corner.
It was bullshit. I still vividly remember it. Like I thought he actually touched too wide. I thought he touched a bit wide, and because there was a player just inside him too, and the keeper was in a good position as well. The keeper was off his line. I think he was just
you don't often
inside
see
that 6-yard box. No way, man. Where do you see
right hand side, right foot,
straight across the keeper? But that's his free kick specialty as well. Beckham's free kick is across the face of the keeper.
Oh, was he good at free kicks? Was he?
He was okay.
Yeah, not bad.
Don't make me fool, mate. You know what I'm like with Bex. Yeah. He's my man.
Mate.
He's my man, love, and I'll admit it here first. That goal, mate. He's so underrated as a player, Beckham. I tell you what, so underrated. So underrated.
One of his best seasons, to be honest. 99.
I'd love to do a pod on this with yourself and Tom on David Beckham, because I know Tom is a big fan of Bex and the way he doesn't get enough raps for his football. People say he was slow. He wasn't slow, man. He was just that good at making decisions and picking out players. He didn't have to run. I've seen games where Beckham's got in behind the keeper, finished with ease. I've seen games where he's lost the ball, he'll chase back, he'll win the ball, and he'll play forward and pick his... Mate, such an underrated player. I love the guy.
Mate, when you can hit the ball as far as he can with the accuracy he can, you don't have to run.
That's right. Yeah. Maradona never, and I'm not saying Beckham's like Maradona, but Maradona was the same. It's not like he was sprinting or anything like that, but he knew where to pick his pass and everything like that. And he's a very good ball player. Yeah. And
sometimes you can do a lot of running and it's for nothing.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So, mate, top left-hand corner. It was Beckham's ninth goal of the season. Yeah. Oof. Mate, I'm sweating already.
So we've equalised. We've gone 1-1 into the halftime break. You know, a chance for the guys to calm down a bit. You know, take it in, breathe. You know, reset. Fergie would have been pumping them up, and I know Fergie throughout his career. Yeah, I know Fergie throughout his career hardly said, didn't say much in his halftime talks. Only if he had to really get up him and pull out the old hairdryer. But he would have had a chat with them. He would have calmed them down. He would have told them, guys, you know, we'll get another goal, because what's it say on that badge you gave me yesterday? What's it say on your flag? That flag, the famous flag you've made.
Oh, football blood.
No, not that one. Oh, Can Manchester United score?
Oh, they always score.
They always score. So they would have known, and the players would have known too. If they got one, they could go on and get another.
Yeah. Look, you know the thing about it, like with Fergie as well, like I've heard it in a couple of his podcasts now, and he always talks about other managers taking notes through games and stuff like that. He says, the minute you take your eyes off the game is the minute you miss something. And in a game like that, you could not take your eyes off that game. It would... Anyone that was at the game, even I don't know how the police or the stewards or whatever, how they have their back towards the crowd and stuff like that. Like it, and the
I'd be the
stewards
worst
that are
at
at
that
Old
job.
Trafford, most of them are all fans of Manchester United.
Yeah.
Well, I would say all 99.9% of them are. And oh, just the crowd must have been such a relief for the crowd
I'd
when
be the
Bex
worst.
got the
That
goal,
I would be the worst at that job if I was a steward. At
oh yeah, mate, that'd be horrible. Yeah,
mate, there'd be blokes running on the pitch. I wouldn't care less. I'd just be watching the game. Mate.
Yeah, and they were then anyway. They went into half time. They come out, and sure enough, what's Fergie do? He goes and makes a change. He went and changed, and Sheringham was having a pretty good game. I thought. Look, he had a couple of missed passes and stuff like that, but I didn't think he was playing that bad. And but I think he wanted to get the brothers,
Andy Cole.
Andy Cole in and bring the twins back together and get us the win.
It was a partnership, and we had two of those partnerships, in that season. Well, for a couple of years there. So we had the Yorkie Cole partnership, and then obviously Sheringham and Solskjaer were a good partnership.
Yeah.
And it's something that worked. And maybe, Sheringham started ahead of Cole in that game, maybe to try and mix it up, put Spurs off their game a bit.
Yeah, I think Fergie was trying to rest him as well, being that you had the FA Cup coming up as well.
But every one of those strikers offers something different. Do you know what I mean?
And it's funny, like you listen back to the commentary as well, and they were talking about Andy Cole the season before, last game jitters, where he missed a few chances to clinch the title for United against West Ham. And I think that was that who won it that year? Was that was it Blackburn?
No, Blackburn 96.
Yeah, Blackburn 96. I can't remember.
Probably would have been Arsenal.
Maybe Arsenal, yeah, must have been, yeah. Shit, was it Arsenal really?
Oh, well, no one else won it. No one else won it in the 90s.
Yeah,
it was Blackburn, United, and Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah. So it was Arsenal, yeah. Fuck.
And it was more often than not United, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess it's like a City Liverpool bloody challenge at the moment, isn't it? So
yeah, but we need to end that shit.
Yeah, we need to end that. But anyway, let's keep going. And then 47th minute. Wow, Gary, what was it? Throw-in. Gary Neville receives the ball back. 47th minute, straight after half time. Lobs the ball into Coley over his shoulder.
What a touch.
Oh man, what a touch.
What a
composure
touch.
too, man. Like it was just inside. Took it just inside the 18-yard box.
Yeah. Brings it down, first touch.
Yeah.
Has another little touch. Back to goal almost.
Yeah.
And lobs the keeper.
Yeah,
man, when that went in, I thought, I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, it's too high. It's not going to go in. It's going to bounce and go over. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, mate, I love when they pan to the bench and you see Fergie and McLaren just going crazy. Yeah. It's just, I reckon they're some of the most famous moments when you see the managers, coaches, and everything just leap off the bench and they hit the field and stuff like that.
He celebrated every goal. They celebrated every goal.
Yeah.
It's like they scored it themselves. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
you see one, like you watch Fergie on the bench and whenever like he's like he's moving around like this and he's chewing his gum and oh man, there's some of
the best one, probably the best one I've seen of Fergie when Rooney scored the overhead kick.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and he's gone up and you can just lip read him. He's going, oh fucking hell.
That's incredible.
Oh, take me back, Adam. Honestly, put me back there now.
I tell you what, I know we're saying it right now, but we've had some great feedback after the last podcast, and these I really love doing these, mate. I tell you, and we're talking in between the game and everything like that. And I know we're getting a bit like, hey.
but the more feedback we get, mate, the better the feedback. The more, it gives us more inspiration to put more of these videos out. So the more likes, the more shares, subscribes, even the comments in the comment section. I know, we got guys like board chair from the football capital enjoying this stuff as well. I know Tom loves going back to the better days. Yeah. So we'll get more of this stuff out, man.
We've got the 47th minute. We've got Coley's goal. We're pumped again. McLaren and Fergie are celebrating hard. What are we? We're 30 minutes away from winning the championship. Friggin' Arsenal fans, you know now that we're 2-1 up. Arsenal fans are crying. They're still 0-0. I think they were still 0-0 at that time as well.
I think they'd gone 1-0 up.
Oh, they were 1-0 up at that time, were they? Okay.
It might have been 1-0. I think they had gone 1-0 up when we were still at 1-1. Because I remember.
Oh, really?
Shit. I think the commentator. I don't know if it was at just after we scored, because I remember the commentator saying Kanu. Do you remember Kanu?
Yeah. Great player.
Big striker for Arsenal. He had put them up against Villa. So they had gone 1-0 up, and we were still at 1-1, I think.
Okay, yeah. So it was tense moments, wasn't it? It was just friggin' unbelievable. Yeah, tense moments, that's for sure.
Once we had taken the lead, how did you find the game? I thought it kind of just it started to settle, and you could see United just controlling the tempo a lot more. The game was obviously in our hands, in our control. You know, knocking the ball around.
Fergie started to. I think at the time, I think he brought Nicky Butt on. He brought Nicky Butt on a bit later. Wasn't too much after actually Coley scored. I think he wanted to shore up the defense a bit. He took Scholes off. So I thought at the time Tottenham actually started sitting back a little bit. They started sitting back a little bit. I think they got to a stage where they thought to themselves, okay, look, and I often think this sometimes on the last day, do some of these teams just sit back and go, okay, they've deserved the league. And you get Tottenham, you can't tell me Tottenham players wanted Arsenal to win. There's no way they wanted Arsenal to win. So you can tell that they really, I don't know if it's a gentleman's agreement or something like that. You can see Spurs sat back a little bit. United started taking control of the game. Well, not sat back a bit because they sat back most of the game, but I mean, took a bit of the pressure off. They weren't going in for challenges. They weren't, high pressing them and stuff like that.
We don't want to accuse any teams now of throwing games, because we know in the last week or so, Rooney's come out and they've spoken about that Aguero goal, and Rooney's come out and said, it needs to be looked into how Queen's Park Rangers, when they conceded.
Really? Is that? I never saw that.
Yeah, he's come out and said it.
Well, that was the year I was there. And
so when City had scored to make it 2-2. I think. Yeah. And then what do Queen's Park Rangers do? They kick off and they pump the ball straight into City's, and they hand the ball straight back, and then they all just sit back on the edge of the box.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, maybe Spurs sitting back.
The player got sent off as well.
Joey Barton.
Yeah, Barton got sent off. Dumbass. Yeah, mate, that was shit. That was. Yeah, I didn't realize Rooney fucking said that, eh?
Yeah, he said that at the I think it was at one of the Hall of Fame things that they were doing. But they've been kicking up a stink about it for the last week or so.
Yeah, right. I'll have a look at that after this,
Yeah.
Okay.
So half an hour to go after Coley scores. No, not after Coley. That's not half an hour, 47 minutes.
Yeah.
There's still a bit of time. United are in control of the game, making a few subs. Butt comes on for Scholes. You're saying Spurs have sat back a bit, just letting.
Yeah, they weren't putting the pressure on. The pressure wasn't there. They still did have a couple of okay chances. Like, you wouldn't say they were full on chances that they had. You did have just before. I think it was just before Butt came on. Scholes had a chance as well. He made one of his late runs into the box. He had some good chances, Scholes, probably to shore up the game, but his shooting boots weren't on. Towards the back end of the game, I remember when time started ticking, we started scrambling in the box. A lot of nerves came out in that last probably 5 minutes of the game. So we were scrambling a lot.
How about Gary Neville?
Yeah, Gary Neville got into the ref's face as well, asking for the 2-minute time. Look, what's going on? Yeah, he was. Brilliant times, man.
Ref blows the final whistle, and the whole place just goes off.
Oh, it just erupts, man. Yeah. Fifth title in 7 years. Fergie equals Busby. It's just got. And we always talk about the history of this club. Like, it's things like this that just get you pumped for it. And unless you're a United supporter, you don't get it. You just don't understand it. Look, today I we've gone through the game now, but today I actually stopped following Manchester United's page today, and it wasn't due to the Glazers or anything like that. It's just I'm so over reading the comments. I'm so over it. Like, honest to God, man, I'm sick of trying to correct people and everything like that. It's just a sad case of affairs for this modern day fan, and
Well,
it's
that's what it is. And we've spoken about this before, and I've said this before. A lot of these younger fans think the game was created when City won the league.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's their earliest memory of the Premier League, the Aguero goal. And
yeah,
you get him, and not to just drag the pod out and talk about City, but you look at what City's doing, right? And they speak about so many legends of their club, yet they've put 3 statues of players who have just played in the Premier League
yeah.
from when they've won the league. So they've got Vincent Company, David
Aguero.
Silva, and now Aguero.
Yeah,
But they rave on about all their legends of the game, Colin Bell, Alan Tongue. Where are their statues?
yeah.
And then you look at our legends. Can you imagine if we put up a statue every bloody 3 weeks of our legends? You wouldn't be able to get into the ground. The whole place would be surrounded.
Yeah.
It'd be a wall of statues around Old Trafford. You wouldn't be able to get in.
That's like saying, look, as much as we all love Ronaldo, and you would have seen my socials yesterday where I did his name set and everything like that.
There's probably
I
10
suppose
players
it's
you can
like-
put a
suppose
statue
you-
of before
yeah.
Ronaldo.
Look, it's as a United supporter and yourself, we think pretty much the same. Everyone loves Ronaldo, and it's been unbelievable him coming back for United, and I'll be the first to admit, where would we be without him this season? But there's so many players on the same level as Ronaldo that have played for Manchester United, and you can think because he scored 40 goals in a season and he won a Champions League and he won premierships here. But there's so many players that have done exactly the same thing. And I'll still maintain when he first came to United, I was ready to kick his ass out.
Like I said,
yeah,
you can put up to a dozen statues of players before you even think of putting a Ronaldo statue outside.
that's
of Old
right.
Trafford.
Yeah, especially like you could look in Melbourne. You can walk around the tennis centre around Melbourne, and they've got the heads of the Australian players. Cast in bronze, and you can go and have a look at them and stuff like that. And maybe that's something United could look at, doing something like that. But
Yeah.
that there's so much history. I'm enthralled in it, and that game there, that last game of 1998-99 season versus Tottenham Hotspur, and like I say, like just before, I've just messaged someone to see if they've actually got that program, because you do forget. And as a program collector, I don't have that one. So hopefully in 6 hours, I've got that program.
If anyone's out there that has that program, please get in contact with Man Cave
Yeah.
United or
I've
Adam
contacted
himself.
someone in the UK. I've contacted someone in the UK, and I'm hoping by 6 o'clock this afternoon, I have that program.
Also, if anyone wants to learn the history of Manchester United, and obviously if you live in Australia, we can start doing tours of Adam's Man Cave. As you can see, it's a bloody museum.
Gold coin donation, they'll donate it.
Yeah, just 35 gold coins.
Yeah.
No,
it was
mate,
a good
I was there last night, and every time I go to Adam's Man Cave, I'm just in awe. I just sit back, and Adam will be talking to me, and I won't even be listening to what he's talking about. I'm just looking around going,
yeah.
this is
Well,
amazing.
look, we were supposed to do a pod out of here last night, and what did we do? We ended up getting chatting about United's history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And look, I know you don't drink, but I've got a bar over there, and maybe one day I might be able to have a beer with you, or at least a V or a Red Bull or something in here.
Yeah, just a Scotch and Coke, hold the Scotch.
Yeah. I was a bit under weather after me gin bar experience yesterday as well.
Mate, I think that's why we didn't do the pod, eh?
Yeah. Oh, mate, wrap it up.
We'll leave it there, guys. If you're enjoying these types of pods, we'll continue to bring some more classic matches, and we'll try and relate them to whatever stage of the season we're in. So, like today, obviously, we got tonight for us is the last day of the season. So we took it back to 99 last day of the season. We'll try and do some more stuff like that. If you're enjoying it, please like, share, subscribe. Helps us, get our content out there a bit more, and for other people to see, it gives them a chance to watch our videos as well. It's great having everyone back in the cave again. Adam, you're a
Thanks,
legend.
mate. See
Love
you,
the
buddy.
energy, brother. See you guys.
See you, mate.